Welcome everyone. We'll start lesson one. Today lesson will go through LO1. As a couple of you know me, my name is Anju Musata and I'm working in the university last 10 years, and I'm also teaching at University of Bradford, and I do some work for Leeds. And please, if you have any question during our delivery, please feel free to drop me an email at please is my email address, daniel@ukuniversity.co.uk, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So we'll start 2 more minutes. Please, if you don't mind, can we quickly introduce ourselves so people know each other? Please, if you don't mind to. If you introduce yourself, so please, your name, where you live, what you do, what you've done, keeping in view of GDPR, please. If you don't want to share it, that's absolutely fine, please. If you can share, will be great. Huh? Yes, please. If you can't speak on mic, you can just do please through chat. I'm not sure you know each other, but it's good to know each other, please, first. So can we introduce ourselves, please, if you don't mind to? Can you hear me okay? Alina? Yes, please. Lena, can we introduce ourselves, please, if you don't mind to? Okay, thank you. Thanks, sir. Yes, please. No, that's fine. You can, in the chat box, you can introduce yourself. Yes, of course, we know your name now, and which city you're from, and currently you're working, and if you like to share, keeping in your GDPR. Okay. Yes, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, so how's weather here in Manchester? Is at the moment it's a bit cloudy. We had a rain, and weather is changing. Yeah. Okay. I think so. Only one person left to introduce. Can you hear us? Yes, please. If you introduce yourself, will be great as well. Okay.
Sorry, Satar. It's there was issues. So I'm Faizan here from Birmingham. So just like in the industry since last 15 years in finance and accounts.
Brilliant. Thank you. How's weather there? It's nice, sunny.
It's nice. It's always as it's supposed to be in September. It's rainy. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start. Okay, so quick, before starting our lesson, is good we'll go through what we're supposed to learn next few lessons, please, few weeks. Okay, so each lesson will go through one learning outcome, understand advanced aspect of UK taxation system. Of course, tax rules at the rates, every year is carry on changing. We can up to 31st January will carry on following the previous year one. Then of course, which we can look around. the new, and then of course, the method of applying the rates. So please, in slide, maybe slightly reflecting all, and plus, I'll give you the new handout and new rates we can apply. So please, here we can embed any example in our writing, and it can be any rates, but clearly indicates which year rates you're applying. Always good to be applied the latest one, but as you're working in accounts, you're well aware of, because up to 5 years back and all forward, which we carry on looking things, like adjustment. So please, we can discuss about income tax liabilities relating to overseas aspect of organization activities. We'll discuss about additional exemption. We'll go through the Finance Act today, and we'll discuss about the inherent tax, and I'll carry on following lesson embedding more examples to help you to clear, and we'll go through the VAT value added tax, different scheme, and some of elements which goes in different lessons, because all about the taxation. Okay, be able to assess the impact of relevant tax in a given situation, like a tax planning is illegal, which we discuss these. Lesson 3 will go through be able to apply taxation planning measures to minimize our deferred tax liabilities, which we'll go through, and we'll discuss different scenarios, and be able to communicate taxation to all relevant stakeholders. So we'll discuss all different stakeholders and why we need to communicate to them. These all will be in our discussion. Okay, so please, when you deal with the learning outcome 1, you've been given the indicative content, and when you address these, the points that will meet the learning outcome itself, and that's these the points here. So you've been given all the key points in LO1, like here VAT scheme, VAT the threshold, and a zero rated, our annual accounting, our cash accounting, and those the schemes. And please, then we'll go through LO2, LO3, and LO4 exactly the same. Okay, so quick, I'll show you, please, as you want. If you type Google search ACCA Finance Act 2025, and you will write ACCA, and that's quite good. You can find the document is called examinable document. Within that, you've been given a lot of examples, which I'll share with you, and underneath, really, you need to understand the Finance Act. These are the rates, and of course, most of you working in account, so you're well aware of. So I'm not go through nitty gritty, of course, which will, if you want, to discuss further. I'm doing my own practice. I've been practice last 2 years, and before that, I was working with a couple of my friends, and I'm also teaching at the University of Bedford. I do some work for Leeds and accounting background, ACCA, and with IFA and AAT and various qualification delivered before. Okay, so I'll try my best to meet your expectations. So as you know, the personal allowance 12,570, 20% is the normal rate, and the dividend 8 point. Of course, the marriage allowance, of course, the personal allowance can be changed if you have the company car, benefit in kind, that your disallowance can be reduced. If you are earning more than 100,000, every £1 extra, your allowance will be reduced. So please, if you are earning more than 125, 140, then of course, your personal allowance will be zero. So that's, and then the tax will be charged also. Well aware of these, when we'll do the tax calculation. So please, this is one of the crucial document, and when we calculate the tax, we'll follow these, all the rates and the rules accordingly. And please, during our discussion, we'll carry on focusing on these. Okay. So feel free for any question you carry on asking, please. I suggest you, for the sake of your matter of interest, please, and during our lesson, which is available to public domain, it's quite good website. You can set up account if you want to. Please look around TX, and you can set up account. If you click, which is personal tax F6 ACC exam, which is quite relevant to the IFA qualification which we are delivering here. And if you click, please, you can download, all the required resources and various, the slides. And So please, this is the booklet. Of course, whichever finance sector you're applying, you see the dates are given as exam because you don't have exam. It's a matter of submitting your assessment, and we need to make sure we can follow the latest finance act accordingly. So please, I'll download and send you this, and you can follow chapter by chapter, and that will also help you. Okay, so please, other thing, when you will write assignment, we can say ACCA article on income tax, inherent tax, or any particular area. So you can find, explore about different ACCA articles on various. Okay, so that's one way to search to, and I'll give you the technical articles. So that will be. It's good to use these articles and help you to understand better the application adjustments and all sort of things. So just for the sake of advice, it's good to use them. And other than that, I'll share with you further books, Kaplan, Osborne, and number of others, and just So understand the advanced aspect of the UK taxation. That's our LO1. The purpose. Always good to be pleased when you're starting anything. Is good to be a reflect how much I know already, and really I need to. Of course, you're a member of IFA. As a student, please, you can attend network events. I'm not sure. Have you attended the network events yet? If you go IFA and say network events, please, in your local areas, plenty of free events, and it's good to attend. You can book online. If you, I will share with you on the network events dates with you, and on our WhatsApp group, we can chat, and then of course you carry on attending if you like to attend. And it's mostly nowadays network events online, and we have in Birmingham, in London, in Leeds, number of other places. So please, as we discuss about the rates, which we can follow accordingly, whichever is finance sector, as long as you clearly mentioning which is finance sector you're using for assignment purposes, you can use. Yes, I'll share with you the slides, and plus I will share with you the books, on the WhatsApp group at the end. And plus is everything is available on our Moodle page. Please, do you have access on Moodle? If not, so make sure you can send emails to admin@ukuniversity.co.uk. So please, they will assist you, and you can access, on the Moodle page all books and things. But I'll also share with you separately, which will carry on sharing to meet, latest. So that's which we need to be look around the deliberately hiding things, tax planning is illegal, but that's which we need to. So please the always good to look around in terms of the UK taxation system. Please, the UK taxation system, the type of tax, the structures, direct, indirect taxes. So it's good to be well, which we discuss. The tax laws, of course. The parliament, and a lot of we use the case laws. Based on the previous the court cases. That's in case the method of operating businesses, we can operate sole trader partnership as a company. So we can think about is it income tax, is it corporation tax, because this your subject is the individual and business together. So we can look around those in terms of an adjustment. So please, you well aware of the year start and year finish date, which we can look around within that year, the profit and the income and employment income, bank and building society interest, which is saving, property income, dividend. So all we can deal. So personal allowance, which we already mentioned now. So please, personal allowance now is 12,570. Please, a lot of discussion going around. The personal allowance need to be increased to the 20,000, but not at the moment. We need to be look around the Finance Act 2026, which will be available late date. So we can look around those, and the tax calculation we can include saving, non-saving. Yes, please. One of the things is very important, domicile. So the country of resident and your permanent resident, your connection. Okay, so in terms of the tax, the tax planning is illegal tax evasion is illegal to deliberately mislead. That's we shouldn't. Tax avoidance is currently illegal to make the loophole maybe unethical. So we need to be look around those perspective as professional, and you use the professional judgment. Of course, we rely only whatever the information give by clients and their document. We not investigate, but we have to work in the wider interest, and we keep the professional code of ethics. That's which we need to be think about 5 professional code of ethics, which we'll go through later stage in detail. Okay, so sometimes please this gift gift also impact a lot. So always think about the gift up to 50 pounds. There no clear guidance, but use your professional judgment. That's the key. In your If somebody giving you free holidays, you can stay and you dealing with their tax affairs, maybe they can influence on you. And as the family friend or close relationship, these are the issues can be, and we need to be address those. So please, are these the our PowerPoint slide is divided according to assessment criteria, and for that we'll go through assignment discussion in the last lesson, where I'll pick the example where you can pick the example from, and you can so analyze the income and the income tax liability relating to overseas aspect, which we can think about any overseas, the domicile and the resident position, and that's which we need to be look around, and then you can complete yourself. Lot of things going to be changed from next year. Tax going to be digitalized, so please, it's good to be HMRC carry on offering various seminars to understand who's going to be 30,000, 50,000, and following years or the year after. So in few years time everything is going to be digital side, so digitalized. So that's the software, of course, embedded the tax rate is a matter of, and but still interpretation and the laws we are aware of, so we can advise to clients. So 180 days normally the rules, and if you're living abroad and more than, of course, these huge impact, of course, benefit and all of the things. So we need to look around pay as you earn. The tax is normally deducted at source when you're doing self-assessment. So we need to be look around, it's being paid in other part of the world. So we can look around this example, please. Incorporated overseas, and although its director is based in the UK and hold their board meeting in the UK. So of course, you have to think about the head office where the company is based on. The company that are not incorporated overseas is only treated as being resident in the UK of the central management, and the control is exercised in the UK. So we have to look around, the directors are based in the UK and hold their board meeting in the UK, and indicate that limited manage and control from the UK, and therefore the resident in the UK, if the directors are to be based on overseas and hold their board meeting overseas, the company would be probably be treated as the resident of overseas, since the central management and the control would be exercised outside the UK. So that's the key criteria which we need to be look around. Like here is example 2. Okay, so please just these are examples, some more, some news, but whenever we deal with it, we need to be think about new finance act, whichever finance act you're dealing from. The UK resident receive overseas dividend, so we have to look around with the holding tax was withheld and the dividend at the rate of. So please, again, we need to be think about the rate 8.75 in finance act. So you have to go back to the document and then apply the rate and advise to your clients accordingly. And overseas branch of the UK, effectively the extension of the UK trade, 100% of the branch profit are assessed to the UK corporation tax. Double taxation relief is a given, where the overseas branch in the profit also being taxes and the relief. So these which we need to be deal. And some example when we'll do the assignment discussion will include that will meet the criteria. Okay, then please, second, we have 1.2, explain the application of additional exemption or relief. So please, one of the areas really we need to look around the capital allowance. So we've been given the separate chapters is the capital allowance, property, plant, equipment, the cars, and which way the car is. So is it special pool or is it man pools, those assets. So we need to be look around that perspective, and then we need to be, of course, please, depreciation is not allowable expense under under the taxation, it should be added back, but the capital allowance, because when you're looking the profit of the company, look profit of the company, add the depreciation back into it, because depreciation is not allowed for the tax purposes. It's okay to show in the financial statement, but not for tax return. So the current annual investment allowance, please, that's we need to be looking on which we can claim. We continue, apply the exam the 1st June. Of course, we're not doing exam, we're doing assignment. So that's, the allowance which we can look around, okay, written down allowance, which we can, first year 100% depends on the car and the CO2 emission level, which we can further explore under each area when we'll do assignment, so we can embed some exam. This is not exam based, the course, this is assignment based. It means, but don't include your client information, because maybe the breach of, code of conduct or professional code of ethics. So, or you make it anonymous and then you can include. So please, private user assets, which we need to be balancing adjustment. Don't pool the private use of asset and claim the capital allowance. When you seize the business, sold the asset, we need to proportion it and balancing and adjustment. Short life asset, which we need to be made the depool asset, and depool asset must be disposed if within the 8 years of the end of the period acquisition, which we will do separate adjustment on this. Okay, so taxable total profit, we can look around, then interest, other income, property income, chargeable gain, and qualifying, chargeable donations. Please, donations, of course, we know if you donate to registered charities and things like trust, which we can, and look around those perspectives, please. And interest, and that's, paid and expensive in the businesses that need to be make adjustment. Okay, the accounting period, if you start, of course, we prepare, maybe you start because the accounting period for your company's tax returns and things, it can be different for the tax, so we need to pay proportions accordingly. That's, which we need to make adjustment. Okay, corporation tax rates, we need to again looking, because 19% are whichever countries we're looking, and that's, we need to be looking around under the Finance Act, so we need to be follow accordingly. Okay, so that's, the basic period which we can look around. And then, of course, the overlap profit within and adjustment within. So that's which we need to be make, which we'll go through some examples and we'll do the assignment discussion, but that's, the key concept. NI, of course, know the NI contribution classes of class 4, class 2, class 1 implies, and then again, please, we need to be look around within the rates, and you have to look around the threshold, you have to look around the limit, and in your assignment we can say I'm using this year's Finance Act, and then we can embed some example which we can pick from the booklet, as I'll give you the booklet, and that will also help you. Individual deduction from the total income, which we can, and the relief, which we look around the losses up to 5 years, which we can carry and back forward, and that's one of the is a big area of for the tax planning purposes, and tax planning the legal, so which we can advise to. So trading loss before and after, that's which we can, and that adjustment, please, we need to be thing, and relief tax planning, as we discussed, capital losses, that's which we need to. Of course, we can use the pro forma normally on the software, doesn't matter whichever you're using, Sage you're using, Capism, and please, if anyone like to be separate discussion on the software, we can do what sort of software you're thinking of to getting your own membership and you want to set up, we can do the discussion. And some, recommendation IFAs offer discounts, like up to 25% on your annual fees. That's, can be referral scheme as well, which can be used. And so the performance normally in software is just a matter of including figures. So we can look around the trading profit for these years. If we have a losses, we can brought forward other income and net chargeable gain, total profit, relief front year, we can carry back and carry forward. So that's which we can look around these in those perspectives. So earlier relief, the cash flows which we need to be think about, the saving purposes and qualifying these, which we need to be look around. The loss relief, capital losses. Okay, then we have the 1.3, the chargeable gain and chargeable gains, total liabilities, please. Chargeable person, chargeable disposal is include the sales and the gift, and chargeable person, the companies and individual, and chargeable asset, the asset that not exempt really will be the chargeable, and that's the chattels, and we need to be included in our how much is the proceed, the cost, and we need to calculate actual proceed if we are half the asset you sold off, and we need to proportion, and if you have the gain, so we need to be include in the tax return purposes. So please, the rates we need to be look around whichever year we follow at the moment, of course, Finance Act 2025 until, and so we can look around those 24 and either 26, depend when you want to do the return and which rate will be applied to you, and that's not exam based course is a matter of adding the example in your, and that's which we can couple of examples which we included. Okay, so capital gain and the losses, please proceed, and the less cost, and like in the shares, maybe you bought different times of the period, and then you have the different gains, and we need the indexation allowance and then chargeable gain, so you have which will make adjustments. The gain and losses, which will go through indexation factor losses, and we'll go through the numerical. And some of example we included here in the slides as well. And the cost of disposal, let's how much you bought it, how much you sold it, how much is the market value, and if we have a gain, we're supposed to be included. And normally we use the formulas A divided by A plus B. So we can look around. A is the proceed from the part of the asset we sold. B is the market value of the part we can, and that's the formula we use to calculate. And that's the example. Yeah. Anyone any question, please? So chattels, which it normally is mean antiques, which we can tangible movable properties like a painting, the gain on the chattel sold, proceed. Please up to 6,000 is exempt, if it's more than 6,000. So please, we need to be proportion. So gross proceed, how much you have minus 6,000, you have the exempt limit. Okay, thank you. And if we have a losses, please we need to make adjustment into areas which we'll go through some questions. Connected person like husband, wife, daughters, son, and these can be connected person. And for the inherent tax, the properties we need to be look around up to how many 3,000 son and daughters, and throughout the lifetime for the 7-year rules, which we look in detail, and the inherent tax areas, which will go through some inherent tax, the question. So 1.4 is examine the inherent tax. Yes, we need to be look around in inherent tax, essential transferable value, the capital gift, the last two states, the chargeable property, the all asset, no exempt, 300, 25 and 40s, which we can look around which year Finance Act we are following. Occasions of the chain, that gift within the 7 years per other lifetime gifts, so we can look around these accordingly, and the rule of the year, whichever year is for the tax rate, the lifetime asset, the debt asset, and the debt rate, and paid by the donees, that which we can inherent tax, transfer value, specific exemption tax, calculations, and less available nil rates. So these all we need to be focusing, and that's we have a separately inherent chapters in the book, and we can pick example, then we can discuss separately nil rate. This being chain to, please we can follow the 325 and all, so which year Finance Act you're following, so we look around the inherent tax, the limits. So the reduction in relief, please accordingly is 4 years, 5 years, or 80% can be within that, which will look again the question in Lifetime gift, is 3,000 per tax year. Carry forward year one only, and the current before, which we can small gifts, marriage exemptions, so giving gifts to, and the normally that's which we can. Of course, that stays inherently property, and that's of course, the software normally embedded in these rates itself is a matter of putting in properly in order, and that will be automatically calculate. And we need to be think about tax liability there, and it depends with tax. So that's we need to be look around, um, apply it to the debt and the 6/4, and so we can look around different years. Okay, so please. The payment and things which we look under the marriage couple and the civil partners. Okay, then please we have evaluate the income and tax liability. We included the link here that will help you to look around the various example, the charities and the trusts which we can, if you want to work toward the merit criteria, which we'll go through and we'll do the assignment discussion. We can pick an example, we can throw it under each assessment criteria that will make the criteria itself. If you want to do distension criteria, again stamp duties and taxes, if we are including those in our and we giving some examples, so that will make the distension criteria. So that's and these the links you've been given a lot of examples which we can pick so quick I'll share with you 1 minute the link which if you want to look around some example your end, the sake of enhance your understanding about. Okay, so I'm sharing with you in the chat box, please. So if you want to, maybe you can go to the explore. There's a link here, please. You can copy and you can look around your end in the plenty of the finance act, which we can apply until 31st January, and then of course if you want further you can follow. So it's quite good, which we can look around. I'll show you what we meant by and how we can. Okay, so please, this is quite good document. So if you look there, like we can find whichever finance act you want to, and you've been given the rates, and then underneath you've been given these small examples, trading profit. So plenty of examples in different areas. So that cover all sort of the sort of rates, benefit income, inherent, and all that. Further we will go through. So please, when we'll do assignments, so we can reference this, we can add source of the information, we can embed these examples in, and that will be the criteria. Anyone, any question, please, before we finish? Okay, so today our lesson was all about the discussion about the Finance Act, the basic, the resident rules we need to be, and then of course, picking example when we do a separate discussion. Of course, the tax is every year rates carry on as long you in practice, and every year going back to the Finance Act and apply your in your own, depends how you deal with the taxes and what sort of clients you have, and you can deep dive out, because that's a situation everyone it can be different, so you have to be advised accordingly. Okay, that's all from my end. Hope we'll speak to you during our next lesson, and if you have any question, those are listening as well, my email address anjum@university.co.uk, so drop me email, and if you need one-to-one in certain area, we can book one-to-one session, and I'll drop you email and the WhatsApp. I'll share with you the books and articles and things, for enhance your understanding in the subject area. Most of you working, you're very well aware of the basic, but if certain situation we cannot. Yes. So these examples, you can use it, yes. And plus I will send you the reference, and I'll send you all the resource, yes, which we can use in assignment. Yes, so when we'll do we'll 4 lessons we'll deliver, and the 5th lesson we'll do the assignment, and each, the criteria will show you where we can pick it. It's not mandatory, but it's good to have a reference view that, the source where we got it, and that will meet in the criteria itself when you're adding in exam. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Yes, anyone on any other question if you like to ask, please? Okay, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy, and we'll speak to you in next lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye now.